So let's talk about array. So I think array, we know that it's basically a container, right? Array is a container. So, and but before that, which language are you comfortable with? I mean, language is not a very big deal as far as algorithm is concerned, but still, which language
Um,
do you prefer for coding?
right now I'm in Java.
Okay, that's awesome. Then we can mm, talk about Java. But yeah, so array is nothing. It's just a container. Some property of array is that it's a container where we have data in different columns of it, and other property of array is that in order to define an array, we always need its size. Without knowing the size, we cannot define an array, right?
Mhm.
If we are strictly talking about an array, in order to create an array, we need a size. Without size, we can't create an array, right? So this
Yeah.
structure of array is like array. There are two kinds of array. One we called 1D array, which is one-dimensional array. So it's called 1D array. And another one is 2D array. As the name suggests, it's very easy. One-dimensional array is like this, where we have a box and we have different rows for it. For example, here we can say that this is a one-dimensional array of size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's an
Mhm.
array of size 6. For 2D array is in the format of a matrix, where we have rows and columns. And similar to matrix, this size of array is defined. So this we can say is what? Array of size 4
Mhm.
by 4,
Or
right? So in order to define an array, we write a very simple thing. We first of all define the data type of the array. If we need to define this array, what do we do? What do we do is that we define the data type of the array. We say like int, which is the data type of the array, and a, and in the square bracket we give it size. So size is 6. So we say that it is this array of size 6, right?
okay.
And then
Yeah.
we can do equal to, and inside the curly bracket we can write all the elements. For example, if the content of array is like 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, actually I've just started using Zoom, so it will take some time, but with time I will get the hang of it and I will be able to write, draw fast.
Yeah. I think you're drawing with mouse, right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I told you I started teaching some other guy around, I think 1 month ago. So I think I have been teaching him for that much time. So yeah. So keeping that, so this is the structure. So what will happen is that in the each box, like other property of array is that the, if we have to know what is at the fourth position. So the one important point about array is that array always start with the index of 0, right? So if we want to know what is in the fourth position of array, what we do is that we don't look for a4. What do we look for? Hmm? if we
What is it?
if we want to know what is at the fourth position of array, and we have told that array starts from index 0. If the size of array is 6, then we will traverse from 0th position to 5th position, and not first position to 6th position, right? Because the indexing
Yeah.
of array always start from 0. So if we had to check for the fourth position, what do we look at?
So we can a of
A of 3,
mm, yeah.
right? And this will give us 4.
Yeah.
Why? Because the indexing of array is always 0. And some low level property of array, people may always ask you that how is array stored. So one, since we are talking about array, so the most important thing about array to know is that array is always given contiguous allocation in the memory. If we look at the
Mhm.
memory, if we ask for something, for example, if we say that okay, as soon as we write something like that, int a of 6, then this means this is telling the system in which we are running our program. What does this statement will tell a system?
So to create array of six.
Yeah, no, but no, not array, because system doesn't know what is array. So this statement means that it will tell your system or your operating system to create a continuous it create a block of contiguous 6
Yeah.
cells, right?
Itself.
For example, if the memory of this particular box in the system is suppose n0, so this will be m1, that's for sure, because it's contiguous allocation. By memory I mean address, right? You know, for every variable in the memory we have an address, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it will be like
Yeah.
m4, m3, m4 and m5. So one important property of this array is they always get contiguous space in the memory, right? And since the data type of the int, based on data type, it will allocate some memory. For example, if it's int, depending on the language, whether what we are using, whether it's C++ or Java or what, it will allocate. Like if we are using if we are using simple int in the C++, it will allocate 1 byte for each one, right? Because the for integer it's like 1 byte, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is how things go. So are you okay till now? You are getting all the points?
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
which language are you using right now
Yeah. I mean,
in
it's
your
in my example. So actually, look, all of these things are same for any language. If you want to refer, and since
I
this
mean
this
no, the programming language which you are using.
for in my company or right now,
Yeah. Right now which programming language you are
I'm not
using?
referring to any language. I'm just referring to the basic concepts.
No, no, no. I'm just asking like which language you are comfortable.
Actually, I mean, in the company, I've been I mostly have used. Look, I mean, before coming to the company, I used to do the coding in C++. But when I went to company, I have doing all the codings in Java. I mean, if I will say if I will say if I have written like 2 lakh line of code, sort of that 2 lakh, I think 80% of code is in Java only, and some of them are in
Okay.
Python, Ruby, and things like that. So
Mhm.
mostly it's Java. I use Java in my company,
Okay.
right? So yeah, but yeah, right now, I mean, whenever we're teaching, I want to be referring to any special language. I will just referring to the concept because all of these things are same for any language, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, if I'm saying that array starts the traversal from zeroth position, any language you use, you will always refer to that way of traversal, right? It doesn't matter
Mm-hmm.
whether we are using Java or C++ or Python or Ruby, whatever, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
have to get fourth, what is there in the fourth position, you will always look at the A of 3 and not A of 4, right?
Yes.
So this is also, I mean, we can traverse all the elements of the array. We can do all of the things because we know how to go to a address, and we have to find the content of the address. We can do all of things, all of these things in the array. So when the array is the very first algorithm, sorry, very first data structure. So it's a very simple one. So they are the 3 or 4 basic bullet points that we need to make find. First is that in order to define any array, we need its size. Without size, we can't define an array. Other thing is that array has contiguous memory slots in the operating system. Other thing is that array for traversal we always start zero based traversal, right? We don't do one based traversal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basic things in array is that there are some of the basic programs. So for example, if I will say, okay, you have to create a array and then you have to find an element. It's a very easy for you. It's very easy for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Suppose I will tell you that, okay, we are given a array of size 10, so it will be like this. Not 10, it will be too much for me. Let's go for 5 only. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so it's like 2 5 1 2 8, right? So we have to find, okay, find the location of 5. So location of 5 will be first location, right, in the array. It will be
Uh-huh.
a of 1 if the array is like this. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
5 will be residing starting here, like. So
Mm-hmm.
these are all about one dimensional array. This is one dimensional because you can say it's linear, right?
Yeah.
In case of two-dimensional array, we have two things. So first block, two-dimensional array is represented by like this. Two-dimensional array is represented like this. This is two-dimensional array. And here we talk about rows, and here we talk about columns. So let me just give you one example of 2D array. This is like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So ordering goes like this. So these are the rows. So rows will be like what? 0th row, first row, second row, 0th column, first column, second column, right? So here if you have to go to 5, how will you reach to 5 in this matrix?
You have 1 of 1.
Yeah, so in the two-dimensional array, we say in the same way. The way to reach 5 is array of 1 of 1. So in array, so it's very easy to traverse whether it's 1D array or 2D array, right?
Yeah.
And if you will see here, if in a 2D array, what does A of 0 represent?
I mean, it's a row, right? In 2D.
Yeah. So 2D array, if you will see, A of 0 in 2D array actually represent a 1D array.
Yeah. Okay.
You can wonder?
Mm-hmm.
In 2D array, what does A of 0 represent? It's represented one-dimensional array, which is a single row.
Okay.
We good here?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think these might be very small things and very easy things. I told you since it's array traversal and everything is very easy in array. When as we will go deeper, you will find the traversal will become a bit complex. For example, that's why we often talk about the DFS and the BFS. If you look at the DFS and BFS, what are they? They are just a way to traverse a graph only, right? But we emphasize so much on them because they are a bit complex as compared to array. Because array, it's very easy. A of 0 is what traversal into array. Just if you want to traverse the whole array, create a loop. I mean, write a loop, and inside the loop from ith to n-1th position, just go. You traverse the array, right?
Yeah.
But so that's also. Let me just, for example, if someone tells you, okay, write a program to traverse through all the array. Suppose if we have array called int of a, size is 10, right? Someone tells you to add something, fill something here. So it's very easy. So we have to find second time. It's easy. We have filled the array, right? Right? Similarly, if we want to just traverse through the array, so it will be easy again. Here you can see I'm always doing equal to 0 and less than size. Why? Because we have told you we always traverse from 0th position to n-1 position. So that's why it's less than 10 and not equal to 10. Even though the size of array is 10, it's always less than 10, right? Not less than equal to 10. That's the important thing.
And here you are using a pre-increment, right? I mean, plus plus I. Why are you not doing I plus plus?
I mean, in our case, both are same, but I think the peculiar thing here is that if you will just look at the deep, if we will just go deeper, I mean, complexity wise, it's always gonna be same, but in real time, plus plus I is a bit faster than I plus plus.
Okay.
So that's why I always do. I mean, not it won't impact your complexity because anyway, whatever you do, if you will look here, the complexity of this particular thing is O of n only, right? But in real time, it's a bit faster. But yeah, that's all. So C's out, A of I. So simply we have just printed this out, right? If you have to do the reverse printing, what we will do?
From I is equal to 10.
Not 10 minus 1 na?
I greater than or equal to greater than equal to 0 and I minus something.
Yeah, I mean it's same minus. Right? So it's very easy, right? Not C out, sorry, C out. If for C, but yeah. It's easy, right? Okay, and time is very easy. I mean, you can see that we are moving from 0 to 10. If that 10 would have been n, so how much? So what is the geometry of this one? like O of n, because we are actually traversing for ones only, right?
Mm-hmm.
And similarly for 2D array, the things are also not difficult for 2D array. For example, in 2D array, it will be like this. If we do things like that, if a of 5 and 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we will do is that,
It will be n square, right?
yeah, how do we go here? It will like a 5
I
less than
less
what?
than
5 and
5 plus plus. And inner loop for j equal to 0,
j
j
less than
less than
6.
0 plus plus 0.
It will be like I, because first of all row comes. So first of all a of I and then j, right? And it will be like what? A of ij equal to, suppose we can write anything. For example, I plus j. That's all. I mean, and we are just using an example here. So CG. If we have to print, we will just do here sys out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here will be O of n square, or we can say O of n into m, right? Because this is n and this is m, right? Why O of n into m?
Mm-hmm.
Because for each I, we are going through complete m, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's not O of n plus m, it's O of n into m, right?
Is
Or
of x to the n, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's all about the theoretical aspect of the array. I Since it's very easy thing to learn, so these are some theoretical aspect of the array. Uh, so um, do you have any doubt till now?
No, I don't have any doubt.
Okay, so after array, we will also talk about strings, right?
Okay.
So what is a string? So actually a string is also a array itself, but it's such that when we say something like, if your Java is like that, a string s, right? So since we are telling a string s, and we are saying that string s equal to, say, suppose we use double quote for strings, right?
Yes.
Suppose Sogand. So here it's also this a string. It may look like a string, but internal implementation of a string is array itself. So in this
Mm-hmm.
case also, if you will just try to see, I always write sys out for system.out.println, right? You might be getting that, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I'm just using the short version for system.out.println, so that I just want to avoid that. If you will just do s of, suppose, 3, what will you
yeah.
get? You will get
Mm-hmm.
G.
G.
So why are you, since you have still defined a string, don't you think it's a bit odd that how are we able to get a particular character in the form of array? It simply means that a string itself is nothing but an array, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right
Array
now?
of character.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so this is basically, I mean, all over string. So string is also an array, but we can define it like this, or rather than defining like this, we can also define a string like this. Since a string is a array of character, we can also say that like string s of, suppose, 20, right? Then
Mm-hmm.
writing something in this way or in this way, both are same, such that the whole array wala part is handled by a string when we write a string, and in this case we have to explicitly write a array.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So do we need to convert? Um, so sometimes in problems they will be converting the strings to array, right? In order to traverse.
No, no, not at
Is
all.
that some?
Because if you will say a string s, you can directly refer to this without doing any conversion. You can always refer to any index of a string as long as you're not breaching the size of the string.
Okay. Mhm.
You got my point?
Yeah.
Here also you can say
Okay.
I wrote a string s equal to Saugandha, but I was simply able to print s of 3. Did I need to convert a string into array? No, but still I'm able to refer to the fourth index of the this array, right?
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, so I mean we can talk about a lot of problems. So I think a very easy problem that I can give you is that you are given a string, and in the string you have to find out the, sorry, not a string, in a given array. Suppose let's talk about a very small problem. Okay, so what we can do here is that you are given a array, right?
Mm-hmm.
Given an array, find out the, it's an array of numbers. So given an array of numbers, find
Mm-hmm.
out the number with highest frequency. What does this mean? It means
Frequent.
that, for example, we are given like 1 2 1 2 1. So what will be our output here?
One.
Yeah. So how will we compute this one? Hmm?
Let me think.
It's
Uh,
okay. It's okay. Don't worry. I mean, we are here to solve the problem. I mean, it's not that. Don't think like I'm a very rude teacher who will just ask you and just sleep, go and have some coffee, and then come back. Hey, where is the solution? No, we will try to solve it together. It's a part of learning. And I mean, I mean, what we will do? I mean, socially, if we can actually, we can act. I mean, how can we
uh,
figure this out?
Maybe I think we need to identify the unique numbers first,
Awesome.
and then
So these are unique numbers,
once
like
we,
unique,
yeah,
like
there are
one
two numbers in,
and two.
yeah, in two, yeah. So once we get the unique numbers, we need to increment the count of each number.
Yeah,
So
and
that, let's say, we need to traverse through the array, and if it finds one, we need to increment one, like one, how many times it has incremented, and so let's say if it finds two, and it should increment to two, to how many times it is counted like that.
yeah, that's also true.
I don't, but I'm not sure if this is the right approach, and it is. I mean,
I mean, this may not do. If your approach is solving, it's a right approach. So there are two way of looking at the approach. One is the approach that is able, first of all, we have to think about right approach. So right approach is that which solves the problem, and second one is the
Mhm.
most optimal approach, which solves the
Yeah.
problem by using least amount of resources and least amount of time. So whatever you
Mhm.
told is correct one. We can figure out all the unique number, and then we can count the occurrence of all those unique numbers, and we can find out the greatest one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are other ways. But when we will actually, so in this case, what you will do? You will be traversing whole array for all the unique numbers, right? So for this, the
Yes.
complexity will become O of n square, right? So there are easier
Yeah.
way to do this. So one way we can say that, I mean, when we learn about sorting, we will know how to do this. But let's suppose that rather than being given number like this, if you would have been given number like this, 1 1 1 2 2, then how would have you solved this problem? It's the same problem, but I have just changed the occurrence of the number. Where I'm saying that, okay, the numbers are in the increasing order of themselves. It
This is
means you can
in
say it as
sorting
sorted.
order. Yeah. This is
So
already sorted, right?
yeah, this is a sorted number. So how will you approach this problem? Like, do we really need ON square solution here still, or can we do something better?
Mm, yeah. So let's say, I mean, um, one, one, one.
Okay, so we can just, I mean it's a very first problem. So we will actually, so actually since it's a first problem, so we will solve it. So look like this. So what we can do is just, since it's a
Maybe,
sorted, yeah, tell me.
maybe like first it finds one, right? Once we started the loop, It
Okay.
it will check the previous number. Like once it goes to the next number, it will check the previous number, and if it is the same, it will just increase the count value. Let's say in this case, it reached the third element, and
Okay.
it has printed. I mean, it has the count variable as 3 right now.
Okay.
So now, once it reaches the next element, which is 2, um, it will it will I mean it will check if the count, I mean, if the count of the previous element and this element, let's say the value of 2 is 2, right? The
Yeah.
count of the value. In this case, it will check with the previous the count. In this case, it is 3 less than, I mean, 3 is greater than 2, and it will just keep the count value as 3 itself. And
Awesome.
um, maybe no, this.
No, that's okay. Whatever you're saying is correct, but I will just say in a more formal way. So you are going in the right direction. So what we can do here is that rather than just taking the only last element, what we can do is that for any number, look, we will first of all let me just write a small code for this. So what is our purpose? We have to find out the number with the highest frequency. Okay. So in the beginning, we will have two variables, right? One is the result, right?
Mhm.
And other one is the max count, which you can say okay, it's 0. Okay.
Mhm.
So what we can do now is that we can just start a loop. I'm just solving this problem where we are assuming that number is sorted, right? Okay.
Okay.
So you are right here, but we can, rather than just looking at the second last number, what we can do is that so we have just figured out our look. So what we have done before even going into the array is that we have found out our goal. What is our goal? In the whole array, we have to keep track of two things. One is the maximum count, right? And second one is the
And one
result,
result. Yeah.
right? And at the end, we will have to return this result out. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So now coming to this, so what we will do is that we will just loop through the array. Suppose we have this, if suppose the size of the numbers are sorted and size is n. Okay. So we loop through an array,
Mhm.
right? Move through the
Mhm.
array. So what we can, so since we have defined our goal in the loop, what we'll do, what we can do is that if we will find a number, right? We will keep on going as long as we are finding this same number, right?
Uh-huh.
For example, like this, we have at 0th position, and what we will do is that we can run another loop inside it. But I will tell you that how this loop is not written to O of n square. Once I will write, you will be able to find out it. What we will find out is that we will just say, okay, we have something, we have defined a number called int x equal to a of I, right?
Mhm.
A of I. So now what we will say is that while I is less than n, okay, and a of I equal to x, plus what? Count. So look, what we are doing in this loop.
So we are traversing into the loop, and then we are creating
Another loop where we are traversing as long as we are hitting the same number.
yeah, we are, I mean, the x is the number which we are on.
Yeah,
The count for every number we are defining a count for every unique
yeah,
number,
yeah.
and then we
So
are entering into while loop. And so in this while loop, while I less than n, okay, and
we have this modification so that we don't exceed the array.
yeah, yeah, and I a of I means the number which is equal to x.
X is the same. For
Okay.
example, you can just understand from the 1. What will happen? For the I equal to 0, we will start with the 1, right?
Okay. Here, you are incrementing I.
Yeah, I also know.
Um,
So that we let's understand with the example of 1. Okay. So what will
yeah.
happen for the for the first of the loop? X will be what? What will be the value of x? It will be 1,
1.
and
Yeah.
count will be 0. So what we are doing?
Mhm.
As long as we are hitting 1, we will be continue. So what will happen
Yeah.
in the
We'll.
side loop? We will go to the first one, so we'll count will be 1. Then we will go to second one. Second one is still 1, so it will be counted. Then we will go to the third one. It is still 1, so the count will be
Yeah.
3. And then we will again go to the fourth one. It will not be what?
Yeah. It will not be in the same x.
Exactly. So we will break from this loop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what we'll do is that. So now what we will do is that. So I think here we have already given this one. We don't require this increment. So and now since we have counted the count of 1. So now what is our aim? Based on this count, we have to determine our these two results, right? So what we can do? We can say, okay, if count is greater than or equal to max count, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
Max
what we'll do?
count. Okay. Is max count is equal to count.
And result is equal to
Result
x,
is equal to x. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now, so we have finished. So let's understand. Let's run this. Do you think it will work? So let's understand this. If we are not confident, we will find out why it's not working. So we will start. So first of all, result has nothing. Max count is 0, right? We will start from a of 0, right? What is the value of
Mm-hmm.
x in the beginning? So the value of x
1.
in the beginning will be 1.
Yeah.
Count is 0. So in this loop, what
Mm-hmm.
will happen? Since a of 0 is equal to 1, we are good. Count is 1. Then I plus plus. Then a of 1 is equal to 1, right? Here a of 1 is equal to 1. है ना?
Yeah.
So it will loop will go till a of 3, and the count will be
Yeah.
3. So
Three.
at the value of a of 3, this loop will return, right? So count will be 3.
Written.
So here the count is 3 and max count is 0. So this condition is true.
Mm-hmm.
So we will
Yeah.
make our max count as 3 and the result as 1. So right now, after
Okay.
all this operation, what do we have?
Uh,
The max count is 3 and the result is 1.
1.
Then we will again come to above, right? Here I is
Yeah.
still less than n because n the value of n is right 5, and we are only at third position. So now x will
Mm-hmm.
be a of 3, which is 2. So now the value of x will be 2,
Mm-hmm.
and count will be 0. And since a of x value x is 2, we will say that okay, 2 is matching to 2, so count will be 1. I will be incremented. Loop is still true. Then the value of I will be what? 2 again. 2 is equal to 2, so the count will be 2. And
Mm-hmm.
then I will be equal to n, so this loop will break. So now what will say? The count is 2 and max count is 3. So does this condition satisfy?
No.
No, so we don't go inside this. And since we have reached n, we will move away of this loop. So after moving away from the loop, what is the value of result here?
3.
No, result is
3
1,
and
na?
1.
Result is
No,
1.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And max count is?
3.
So what do you think? What is the time complexity of this solution? At most, how how are we traversing in this case? Here do
So
you see there are two loops, right?
n square and yeah.
Here we have two loops, right? But what is the time complexity?
Time complexity.
Yeah, time complexity of this solution.
Um, like n square, right?
No, that's not here. If you just look at
Uh,
closely, we are only traversing till n times, right? Either via this or via this. And we are
but
only
inside
traversing
the
each
while
element
loop, right?
once. Sorry?
But inside there is a while loop, right?
Exactly, but this while loop is also increasing this I only, not j,
Okay.
right?
Oh, okay, okay,
So
okay.
even though sometimes it will look like there are two loops, but it's not O of n square, it's O of n only. And you are getting y is it O of n, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so it doesn't matter how many
Yeah.
loops are there, it matters that how many times you are traversing through it. So even though here we are having
Okay.
two loops, we are also increasing, we are only increasing the same element itself, I is only getting incremented, right?
Yeah, I got it.
But
Yeah.
any given point we will only traverse one element of the array only once. It means we will traverse all the n element of the array only once, which means the complexity will be O of n. So earlier we
Okay.
thought about O of n square. Now we are able to solve the problem with O of n if it's sorted
Mm,
array, right?
mm. Yeah, yeah. This is
And
sorted array.
even though we have to, it's not sorted. What is the time complexity of sorting the array? If we will just learn further, we will say that there are different sorting algorithms, and you can do using some of the sorting techniques. You can sort the array in O of n log n. So there are other,
Mm-hmm.
so there are several other logics using which you can traverse into, you can traverse in on, sorry, not traverse, you can sort in on square. But there are some other techniques like quick sort, merge sort, using which you can actually sort in log n. So in that case also, if array is not sorted, the time complexity of sorting will be O of n square, sorry, O of n log n, right?
Uh-huh.
And the and
So,
the and the complexity of traversing this one is O of n. So still it will not be O of n square, it will be O of n log n, which is less than O of n square.
okay.
Sorry, you were telling something?
Yeah, so I mean, the problem which first given is not sorted, right? The example.
Exactly. But
Uh,
if it's not
so,
sorted, we
so,
can sort it in n log n.
so we need to sort it first and then write this program, right? I
Exactly.
mean, by using any sorting mechanism. So
Yeah.
without sorting, it is not possible to find.
Hello.
Hello, is that not possible without sorting? Like to find a number, the count of the number without sorting?
I mean, it will depend upon the basically limits. If you are given only 10 to the 5 numbers, there are ways to do it. But if there is no restriction on the number, you get some say, okay, number can be negative, number can be positive, number can be zero. So in this case, no, it will be of n square without sorting.
Okay.
And with sorting, it will
So
be it will be n log n for sorting and o n for traversal. So it will be n log n only, which is still much lesser than n square.
okay. I mean,
Cool.
for sure we need to sort it before doing it. I mean, I'm
Exactly.
asking like,
Yeah.
okay,
Exactly.
okay,
Cool. So similarly,
yeah,
we can have some. Let's solve a, a relatively easy problem. I mean, I should have given that earlier, but I just wanted to get some hang of it. Okay, so it's given an array of elements. Find greatest value, right? Example is like 3, 4, 5. So what will be the answer here?
okay.
Answer is
It is eight.
8.
Eight.
So tell me, how will we solve? How will we solve it? Here, it doesn't matter array is sorted or not sorted. It doesn't matter for
Yeah.
us.
So
Right now,
just
it's
take
sorted.
the max and there is the result. I mean, create a value x with result. I mean, and then start looping through the array and
Sorry.
comparing. I mean, we need to start looping through the array
Okay.
and compare the I mean max value with the present element, and if it is
Awesome.
greater than if it is greater than I mean the max count is greater than this, or we need to just compare and update the max count value. And in this case, once we reach the element 8, it will have it, and once we reach 7, it will check if it is 8 greater than 7, and it will be false again, and it will have the 8 itself. Yeah, just like the previous one, the if condition.
Awesome. So I think, and we will solve this problem in O of n, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So that's cool. So it means that you have, I mean, you have a lot of, it seems that you have experience of solving problems. So yeah, I should not have gone to this problem itself. Cool. So yeah, that's correct. We will just take, I mean, we can do two things here. Either we can take that, either we can say that, okay, we can say that any element we can say we can take a very small number of max, or for safety we can take the first element as the max, and we can start our from the second element. In this case we will have
Mm-hmm.
finity, we will not be going into the other concerns, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, rather than taking max value as any, you will take a very small value as max, right?
Yeah.
So rather than taking a very small value which you don't know what a small value can be, if we take the first element at the max, then also it will solve the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, if we do like this, right? Suppose we said int of max is equal to a of 0, okay?
Okay.
And then we say, okay, for int I equal to 1, I less than n plus plus I, if a of I is greater than max, max equal to, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Similarly, to find the minimum, we will just reverse this, and it will be it will like finding a minimum value. Okay. So now coming to the searching technique. Do you have any question till now?
No, 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 I don't have.
Okay, so we will move to the searching technique. So for searching, we have mostly two techniques that we basically use for searching.